Hey everybody, catscamper.com here. So my wife and I just did a nice camping trip for 4 days. And we got back and I couldn't get the electric jack to go down. It's a Lippert Components electric jack. I tried, the electric would try, but it blew the fuse. And so I tried the manual and I couldn't even budge it. I couldn't get it to budge at all. So I took the whole darn thing apart and I got down to this. Show you here. Oops, sorry. I got down to this. This is the the jack screw. It's really the part of the jack. Here's where let me back this up a little. Excuse me. Here's where your wrench would go on to manually do the jack, and it just wouldn't budge. And what it was, we just had so much rain that we were going to put floats on this trailer and do a little Noah's Ark thing. And it rained on our way to the campground. It would rain for days and days beforehand. We got to the campground, we set up, we were there for 4 days, so 3 days without rain. Then we packed up and I raised the jack all the way up, and that's the position it would be in right there. And I think what happened was this part here just had water in it, and it's metal, and I think in the maybe 4 hours it sat in that position, it actually rusted shut. Because if you ever look at your motor, the motor that does these jacks is very, very small. They don't have enough torque to really crank onto that. So it took me a while. I had to take the whole thing apart. I put this in a vise, and I even put a impact wrench on here. It wouldn't break loose. And so I ended up just with a really long socket, and I actually used my torque wrench because that was the longest I had, and was able to break it loose. And you can see there's rust along here, and so the whole thing was just, it literally just rusted up in a few hours, and you could not, I mean, it took put my foot on the workbench and the whole length of a half-inch torque wrench, which is, geez, 18, 24 inches, however long those are. And I really had to pull to bust it loose. And I think that's what it was. It just rusted up right between these parts here. So I've got some grease. I'm going to grease it, put it all back together. But kind of scary, you know, how do I can't even take it off the truck yet, you know, and I have a jack that'll hold the tongue of this trailer, but I don't know if it'll reach up high enough to get it off the truck, and really puts me in a bind going into a holiday weekend. But if you ever have one of these things and it just won't stinking budge, that's probably what it is. And maybe I used some WD-40, I used a little bit of heat on it to try and break it loose, and I finally got it loose. So if you're in a jam and it just won't move, that's probably what it was. So just trying to help you out. Thanks for watching my video, catscamper.com, KATSKAMPER.com. See you at the campground.